Welcome everybody. You've come back for more information on menopause in general and osteoporosis in particular. We're in the midst of an entire unit on osteoporosis. This is video 198 of the whole menopause education and the third video in the unit on osteoporosis. Now you know that watching my videos in order is crucial to your understanding, and it's that little number after each title that tells you where we are in the series and gives you the order of the videos. So the first two osteoporosis video tutorials have taught you the definition of osteoporosis and explained how your bones are vitally dependent on estrogen from puberty until you reach menopause. But once you reach postmenopause and your estrogen disappears, your risk for osteoporosis skyrockets. Now, just hearing that may sound alarming, but how alarming? Just how alarming is it? I mean, how common is osteoporosis? And what are the consequences of osteoporosis on you as an individual and on society as a whole with a lot of menopausal women? That's what I'm going to discuss today. If you have my book, whether you have the first edition or the second edition, and I hope you have it, this material is in chapter 29 in the section entitled Epidemiology and Prognosis. This is a video to give you a real sense of the magnitude of osteoporosis. It will help you put it into perspective with regard to ordering your priorities for managing your menopause. You know, people have different ways of relating to information like this. Some people prefer to know the numbers of individuals with a disease. Others get more from percentages of people with a disease. Still, others prefer dollar figures for the cost of a disease. And some people really understand better by comparing the incidence of one disease to another disease. So, since my goal is to make everything meaningful for you, I'll give you this information about osteoporosis in all of these ways. Whenever you hear facts about how common a disease is, it's important to realize that most of the numbers refer to the whole population. And while you may not care about the whole population, the population statistics provide the best possible big picture scenario. And let me caution you about something. This is something that happens all too often. A woman will hear the statistics on how common a disease is. Let's say she hears what I taught you in the unit on heart attack. I taught you that heart attack is the biggest killer of menopausal women. And she'll respond with something like, but I know 3 women who have had breast cancer and none who have had heart attack. I cringe every time I hear someone say something like this. First of all, the statistic had to do with how many women die of a disease, not how many women get the disease. Women survive breast cancer. They don't survive heart attacks. And second, the statistics take into account the entire population. You only know about 100 or so women. Do you really think that your little circle of friends is an adequate sample for purposes of assessing disease statistics? Are you going to believe what you see in your little circle of 100 or so friends over the statistics that assess the entire population? Please, please ignore your own familiarity with how common a disease is. It is not representative of the actual facts and figures. Pay attention to statistics. They can save your life. Don't debunk them with your little comparisons to your own little circle of friends. Do not dismiss the statistics on how common osteoporosis or any other disease is. These statistics should function as a wake-up call for you so that you don't end up with that disease. You already have the advantage of learning all this here on my channel so that you can do whatever you need to do in order to prevent ever becoming part of that statistic. So let's talk first about the population. All the way back in video 4, I taught you the statistics on how huge the population of menopausal women is worldwide. You learned that we are the fastest growing sector of the population in every region of the world. What this amounts to is an aging of the world population in general. We're living longer and spending a larger portion of our lives in the state of post-menopause. So if there are more elderly women, and if osteoporosis is strictly a disease of aging, it's going to become more and more common with age. In essence, we're living longer lives, but not necessarily healthier lives. This leads to more women with osteoporosis who sustain a fracture. And when an elderly woman sustains a fracture, she may never return to her previous level of function. She may never be able to live alone again. She may need assistance for the rest of her life. So it has devastating consequences for both her and society. The physical burden to her is massive, and the economic burden to society is huge. If you compare men to women, women sustain fractures from osteoporosis 4 times more than men do. So let's start with how many women have osteoporosis. And since I've told you that it's a disease of aging, I'll give you the numbers based on age. If you reflect back to the last video, I told you that you reach peak bone mass between the ages of 25 and 30. And then you maintain that peak bone mass until you hit post-menopause. So for the vast majority of women, the risk of osteoporosis is almost zero until they become postmenopausal at about the age of 50. But after that, your risk starts increasing, and it just keeps increasing the longer you live. So if I were to draw a graph showing you how common osteoporosis becomes as you age, it would look like this. What you see is essentially zero risk at age 50, just before you become postmenopausal. But by age 65, you already have a 20% risk. At age 75, it's 50%. And at age 85, it's 70%. This graph reflects 2 things. Number 1, it shows you how rapidly your individual risk increases at postmenopause. And number 2, it reflects the population statistics for how many women actually have osteoporosis at these ages. If I translate those percentages into numbers, it boils down to this. 1 out of every 2 women over the age of 50 will sustain a fracture due to osteoporosis. In other words, 50% of all women will end up at some point in time having a fracture as a result of osteoporosis. Now, if you're thinking, oh, it's just a fracture, you are woefully mistaken. A fracture from osteoporosis in an elderly person is very commonly deadly. 20% of women die from the complications. Of the survivors, 50% require assisted living or home health care. So none of this is about a simple fracture. The effects go way deeper than that. The overall numbers of women who already have osteoporosis is in the tens of millions. And the numbers of fractures per year will triple by the year 2040. And now for costs. The annual costs are already on the order of $25 to $35 billion. And those figures will continue to rise as we continue to age. Unless, of course, you learn what I have to teach you so that you can prevent all that. So, how common is osteoporosis compared to some other diseases? I always like to present comparative data like this. You live in a world in which you tend to worry only about the things you see. It's very likely that you're thinking, gee, I don't know anyone with osteoporosis, therefore I won't worry about it. Well, you see, that could be a huge mistake on your part. For some strange reason, our society focuses more on some diseases than others. But usually people focus on all the wrong diseases. So to put osteoporosis into perspective, get this. Your risk of a hip fracture is equal to your risk of breast cancer, uterine cancer, and ovarian cancer combined. Actual fractures due to osteoporosis are more common than heart attack, stroke, and breast cancer combined. So if you're worried about breast cancer, as are most women, maybe you should shift some of that concern to osteoporosis. It's much more likely to come your way. Now, I never ever intend to scare you. Shock you into action? Yes, but scare you? No. There's no reason to be scared if you're informed and you act on that information. And when you watch a video like this one that delivers nothing but bad news, be glad that you're finding out about it from a measly video rather than finding out about it from a fracture. Some of you have commented about wanting to hear happy, positive things from me. Well, my dears, I am like your mother. It is my job to make you miserable now, but you will thank me for it later. This menopause education is all about learning all the ways you can prevent anything you don't want to deal with as part of your menopause. But you can't learn how to manage something if you don't know it exists. And there's no way I can tell you everything in one video. So my series is like building blocks. I will teach you each block individually. Some of the blocks are the depressing things. But once you have the foundation, I'll give you all the management options for preventing the things you want to avoid. You saw in the unit on heart attack that I did just that, and I'll do it for each and every disease or symptom of menopause. If you can't wait for the individual videos, schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. I can give you the whole enchilada in a consultation, and I can tailor everything specifically to you. So the unpleasant summary of this video is that osteoporosis is a disease of aging that begins at postmenopause when you lose your estrogen. The older you get, the higher your risk. It results in fractures that can kill you or impair you physically for the rest of your life. And it's important because your risk of a hip fracture is higher than your risk for breast cancer, uterine cancer, and ovarian cancer combined. And actual fractures from osteoporosis are more common than heart attack, stroke, and breast cancer combined. So stay tuned to this series. Watch the videos in order, and I assure you that you will have all the tools to prevent any of the stuff you don't like. Come back in a week when I'll teach you about the architecture of your bones. It's actually called bone structure and bone fracture. That will help you understand why you fracture some bones and not others. Until then, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to this channel, and if you need a consultation, schedule it at menopausetailor.me. And now I bid you adieu, adieu, adieu to you and you and you.